Welcome to the College Football Bros. I'm Michael Newman.
I'm Ryan Newman.
And I'm Trey Newman.
All right, preview season rolls on with question 43 of our college football preview series. Trey, what's the question?
Who is on the 2021 College Football Dream Team?
Okay, and we're going to build this team using the best position groups from whatever school we want across the country. So, Ryan, get us started with quarterbacks. Not an easy one.
Yeah, you gotta just throw me the tough one right out of the gate here.
Yeah, not easy.
I mean, I had it narrowed down really to two: Oklahoma and North Carolina. Of course, both starting quarterbacks are arguably the two best in the country, and they both have really good backups. So, Sam Howell versus Spencer Rattler. There's really no wrong choice. All right, so don't be offended, anybody. But I went with UNC. My reasoning, I'm going with the Tar Heels is because, you know, I've seen OU before Spencer Rattler have three quarterbacks that all dominated: Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts. They all just dominated. I hadn't seen it before at North Carolina, so I gave Sam Howell a lot of credit for having a really darn good year, a couple years, and they also have a good backup. So, you know, they have two good options, although OU's Caleb Williams is another pretty good option, but UNC just by a smidge.
Okay, how about running backs?
Yeah, so I took this as I was looking for more depth as opposed to just the top end. So I'm actually going with Georgia. I really like the depth. They return all of their production, and it's also loaded with talent, too. Zamir White leads the pack. He had 11 touchdowns last year. You got a guy like James Cook, who averaged 6 yards per carry. He's used a lot in the passing game as well. Had about 14 yards per reception. They're going to mix in Kenny McIntosh, Kendall Milton. Both those guys had over 80 combined carries a year ago. There's just a lot of quality there that I really liked. But you know, I did think about Texas A&M with Spiller and Achane, Oklahoma with Kennedy Brooks and Gray. There's going to be other, you think about like Breece Hall at Iowa State or Tank Bigsby of Auburn. Those guys are
Iowa State's
fantastic.
Backup running backs gone too.
Exactly, like those guys are fantastic, but I just kind of went with more of the proven depth.
Yeah, running back, there was no obvious choice there, but Georgia's a good pick. Yep. Receiving core, as we move on to that, there is an obvious choice. Yeah, this is, I think, the easiest one of the episode. Ohio State. You got Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, two of the best in the nation. You got Ruckert at tight end, if we're including the tight ends here. In the slot, Jackson Smith and Jigba is kind of everyone's breakout candidate for Ohio State's offense. And they've just, I'm not even naming all the guys because the depth is insane. They've recruited amazingly well at wide receiver. Like, they've gotten the top receiver each of the past 2 years, so they are completely loaded there, top to bottom.
Yep. Yeah, that was a pretty easy choice. All right, let's move on to the big uglies, the offensive line. This one was tough. This was a tough choice. I had it down to three. I had it down to Bama, OU, and Georgia. I'm sorry, Bama, I guess four. I'll put OU in there, and Ohio State was the other team, which I should have put them last. I wouldn't put them last in that four-pack right there.
Right.
I would probably lean so hard, but I ultimately went with Bama. I've just, they've dominated for a while now. I know they lose quite a bit, but Evan Neal is still there, and he's arguably the best lineman in the country. Emil Ikiyor is still there. He was really good last year. Chris Owens has played a lot. Nick Saban has said Javion Cohen has been impressing at left guard. And Saban's talking him up. That usually means he's going to be an All-American. So they have four guys right there that are going to be really good that I know, I've seen, I can trust. So, I'm pretty sure they'll come up with a fifth guy to have a good starting lineup. So Bama, even though it's really close.
All right. Before we move on to the defensive side of the ball, a quick word from a longtime listener and friend of the podcast, Rutgers Todd. He has an awesome website where he sells vinyl stickers and T-shirts. He actually sent us some USC, Nebraska, even USD stickers. So very high quality, different color and size options, anything you want. Tons of different logos. So encourage you to go to the website. It's The sticker is perfect for putting on your car, cooler, whatever, really. Your spouse, why not? I don't know. I mean,
Hey,
probably
their
don't
alma
do that.
mater, their alumni, wherever they went to school. Like,
Sure.
he
But
does a
again,
good job. It's really cool.
Yes. Again, that's Deep Cuts Vinyl NJ.storeenvy.com. Promo code BROS20. We love you, Todd.
Thank you, Rutgers, Todd.
All right. Let's go to the defense, Trey. Defensive line.
Okay, so I think this was one of the easier ones of the episode, just because you're looking at an entirety of the defensive line, not an individual player, and you got to go with Clemson. On paper, it's really their best line since that one season a few years back where all those guys returned. They call themselves the Power Rangers.
Dexter Lawrence and
yeah,
folks,
exactly.
yeah.
That was
Christian
2018,
Wilkins, right.
and yeah. So first of all, you get Brian Brzee. He's a sophomore this year. He was the top recruit a year ago. He was a freak in his freshman season, already one of the ACC's best linemen. Had a lot of production, tackles for loss, sacks, finished the year well. I also get a guy like Miles Murphy, another 5-star from a year ago. He had a team-high 12 tackles for loss as a freshman. Those two guys are only going to improve and draw double teams. That's going to open it up for guys like Tyler Davis on the interior. He started about 20 games. You've got and he was a guy that he was kind of hampered by injury last year. You also got Xavier Thomas, who he's one of the most talented on the team. Hasn't fully lived up to it, but he's battled injuries, COVID last year. He does lead the team in returning sack numbers. He has 9 career sacks. And the other thing about him is I was reading in the offseason, he's lost like 30 pounds, and they say he's just raring to go for his year. And then I'm not going to get into the details of the other guys, but you got KJ Henry, Justin Foster, Justin Maskell. Like, they just got so many proven commodities that it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Depth
Easy
and
choice.
talent. That's an easy choice there. Going to linebackers, I think the answer here is Alabama. They are loaded. You got Will Anderson and Christopher Allen rushing the passer, 23.5 tackles for loss and 13 sacks last year combined between those two. And Will Anderson was just a freshman. He was a 5-star, great recruit, lived up to the hype right away, and you could think blossom into arguably the best pass rusher in the country this year. He's got a shot. You've got Christian Harris back. He was a finalist for the Butkus Award last year. You add the number 1 ranked player in the transfer portal, Henry To'o. So it's just they have so much experience and depth there.
Can't go wrong with that. No doubt about it. They have really come on strong here. All right, moving on. You were going to say something, Mike?
I was going to say, and linebacker like a couple years ago was a weakness, right? It had suddenly become a
Yeah,
weakness.
that's what I mean. Like a couple years ago, they were like running thin and, it was rough. But now they're like, oof, okay, best in the nation already.
They're back.
Yeah, all right, secondary. Ooh, this was close, man. This was a hard one. But I went with Bama. Another Bama.
Okay.
Well, Malachi Moore, freshman All-American last year. He's a stud in kind of that star role. Josh Jobe is a great corner. Jordan Battle, I think, was an underrated kind of deep safety. He was really good. You know, they lose one guy from that secondary that was playing extremely, extremely well. So I think they're going to be even better than they were last year, especially since I think they're going to be able to probably rush the passer a little bit too, considering how good those linebackers are going to be. But I mean, it was really close. Cincinnati, I considered, they had 3 really, really good corners, probably going to be Sunday players, but their safeties, they lost both of them, so that's concerns me just a touch. LSU's got a really good cornerback duo, but safeties are a question mark. Clemson's secondary strong. Texas A&M's got everybody back, so they're good too. But, you know, I went with Bama, even though they lose Surtain.
All right. There you have it. There's our 2021 Dream Team. That'll do it for this episode of the College Football Bros. Be sure to subscribe because we're going to be back tomorrow. We're looking ahead to week 1. We're going to rank the 10 best games of the first week of the college football season. So we'll talk to you then.
You've been watching the College Football Bros. Be sure to subscribe here on YouTube and in your podcast app for college football content all year round. For bonus episodes and access to our Discord chat, join our Patreon at patreon.com/collegefootballbros. Thanks for watching.